Hello students, this is Mrs. Jones. Today we're talking about what something is called degrees, minutes, and seconds. Degrees, minutes, and seconds is just another way to measure an angle. It is a more specific, a more accurate way of measuring an angle. Some of the things about it, if you think about a protractor shows degrees. Well, inside of that 1 degree, there are 60 little subsections that are called minutes. And it really has nothing to do with the clock, okay? It originated with the position of the sun during certain times of the day, but it doesn't have anything to do with the hands and the angles that the hands make on the clock. So don't even think about that. But we're talking about very, very, very fine, accurate measurements. So on the protractor, inside of that little degree, there are 60 little sections that are called minutes. And then inside of each one of those minutes, even smaller yet, are 60 little subsections that are called seconds. So inside of a degree, we would actually have 3,600 seconds. Talking about very, 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 very fine measurements. Machinists live by degrees, minutes, and seconds because they need that accuracy when they're making a part. How we're going to do conversions is just similar to what we've done before with any other units that we've been converting. If we're going from a small unit, like seconds or minutes, to a larger unit, like degrees, we're going to be dividing by something. And it's going to be 60 in this case. But if we're going small to large, this is division. And if we're going from a larger unit to a smaller one, we're going to be multiplying by 60. So a large to a small, we're going to be multiplying by 60. All right, so we're going to do a couple examples here, and I'm going to try to zoom in the best I can. So here we have 47.1938, or 1,938 10,000ths of a degree, and we're trying to change this into degrees, minutes, and seconds. Minutes and seconds are smaller, so we're going into something that's smaller, so that means our whole process is going to be about multiplying by 60 because we're going from a large unit into a smaller one. And it's really just a process. Once you learn the process, then you'll be able to do them on your own. So we chop off the 47. That 47 is the degree part of your answer. And then you take just the decimal, 0.1938, and you multiply that by 60. Oops. 38 times 60, make sure I put it in the calculator right. And I get 11.628. That 11, I'm going to chop that 11 off. That 11 is become the minute part of my answer, and you use one little tick mark to represent a minute. That's the notation for it. And then you again take just that decimal, 0.628, and you multiply it by 60 again. And so it's a repetitive multiplication. Get that on my calculator here. I get 37.68. At this point, you're going to go ahead and round that. So it would round to a 38, and that 38 is the seconds part of your answer, and you use two little tick marks to represent the seconds. Please do not be one of those people and say 47 degrees, 11 feet, and 38 inches, because somebody will do it. We're talking about angles, so those little tick marks represent minutes and seconds. All right, let's try another example here. We'll use this one. We chop off the 53, and the 53 is the degree part of the answer, and you use just the decimal, and you're going to go, do I have to use all of the decimal? Well, machinists live by accuracy. They want everything to be the closest, best possible measurement they can. If you round that big long decimal, then you're taking off accuracy off your answer. So I'm multiplying that by 60, and I get 47.41, and my calculator has 4 6s and an 8. Okay, I'm going to chop off the 47. The 47 is the minute part of your answer, and we take just the decimal. And we multiply it by 60 again to get the seconds. And I get 25 point and a whole bunch of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an 8. This part rounds. This would round to 25 seconds. So 53 degrees, 47 minutes is the same as this big long decimal degree. Why you might need to do these kind of conversions is a lot of times your machines in the program area will set up with degrees, minutes, and seconds. The compound saw in welding, a lot of the machines in machine tech. I am going to erase these. You can always rewind the video to watch that part again, but just so that we don't have all this writing on here and be very confusing, because we're going to go after the other direction. This time we're taking degrees, minutes, and seconds and turning them into something larger. So this is going to be all about dividing by 60. It's almost an exact opposite or reverse process than what we just did with the other conversions. I want to do this one down here first. Alright, so we work backwards. We're going to take this 25 and divide it by 60. 8.41. A whole bunch of 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7. And then, like I said, it's almost the exact reverse process. We're going to stick that 47 onto the front. Instead of taking it off, we're going to be sticking it on. So then we're going to divide all of that by 60. And I'm going to keep all of my decimals for right now. And I'm going to add that 53 on. And once I put the degree part onto the answer, that's how I know I'm done. So "53 degrees, 47 minutes, and 25 seconds" is the same as that big long decimal degree, and then you could round that to any decimal place that you needed to based on the machinery that you were working with. Alright, so let's do another example of this. This is taking degrees, minutes, and seconds and turning it into a decimal degree. This one we divide this by 60, working backwards. 29 divided by 60 is 0.48. Whole bunch of threes. I'm putting the 76 on, and when I put that degree, that 76 degrees onto the front of it, that's how I know I'm done. So this one, since it only had minutes, I'm only going to divide by 60 one time. Right? I want to do one more with you. Maybe one more. Let's do this one. So we'll do two more together. So this is taking degrees and making it into degrees, minutes, and seconds. So this is back to the multiplication. We take off that 103. That 103 is the degree part of the answer. And we take just our decimal and we multiply it by 60. When I do that, I get 0.54. And usually what I do is I chop off a whole number. Well, there's no whole number there, but I don't let that bother me, and I just act like I'm chopping off a 0. And I take just the decimal and multiply it by 60. I'm going to round that last part, so this would round to 32. Alright, let's do one more. So we're going to jump down to one of these ones down here. You know what? I'm going to do this one. Alright, so this one is a little bit tricky because you have to pay attention, and you have to notice that this says degrees and this says seconds. It is missing the minute part of the degree. So what I suggest is rewriting it and put 0 minutes in there. When you rewrite it, that's going to help you stay on track with what you're doing, because to do these conversions, to go to decimals, we're going to take this second and divide it by 60. You get 0.1. And then I'm putting that 0 onto the front of it. I know it kind of seems a little bit strange, but you're going to do the same thing. Divided by 60, and I get 0.001, a whole bunch of 6's, and a 7, and I put the whole number of degrees on the outside, and I am done. Okay, I want you guys to notice that at no point, well, at no point, there was only one point where I rounded anything, and that was right here when I'm getting the last part of my answer. That's the only time you want to round it. You do not run around mid-process. If you round your decimals in mid-process, you are going to get the wrong answer, and it is not, your piece that you're making in the machine is not going to fit together. Alright? So I hope the video helped you understand how to do conversions between degrees, minutes, and seconds. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at cjones@ictc.edu. Now I want you to go take the Google quiz. Make sure you hit submit at the bottom of the page, and then also turn in the upper right hand corner of the Google assignment. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.